What's going on, guys? Dan from SSG bringing you a Yu-Gi-Oh! Cube profile. This time we're profiling a no extra deck cube, so it's built to be a little bit more grindy and one-for-one based. And it's about a little bit more than 390 cards, a little bit under 400. I like to have my cubes in that range so that you can play up to 8 players. And we're just going to get started right into it with starting with the engines of the cube. We have a Gladiator Beast engine here, just 8 cards. I like them because without the extra deck, they don't seem too powerful. But they're very rewarding to draft around, and I like that you have to sort of work for their effects a little bit, and they have a lot of utility. Next, we have the Plant engine. Even without synchros, plants are still pretty awesome. I like how Lone Fire can go and get you big threats like Gigaplant and Titanial, and then the Dandelion and Gloat Bulb can give you value over time. Great standalone cards by themselves and can provide tribute fodder. Then we have a zombie engine here. The zombie engine's always been my favorite because it was my first competitive deck growing up. I played the Ill Blood Card of Safe Return deck. If anyone remembers that format, it was a lot of fun. But in Cube, Mizuki is just a really powerful card. We have recurring value with Ill Blood, a bunch of floaters here. It has a lot of things going for it in the Cube. And then, not really an engine, but I wanted to point these out. We just have all the monarchs here. Even like the ones that aren't considered like great, like Grand Marg or Kuraz, have a lot of utility in the cube. They're very good, and you can just kind of splash them in your deck, or you can build an entire deck around them. So I thought it was cool to highlight these. They're always a staple and include in all of my cubes. And then the last engine we wanted to highlight here, or it's just the Lightsworn engine. Yeah, just all of them are standalone great cards, and then if you can manage to pull off a JD to just win the game, then that's pretty awesome. So we're going to go by monsters by attribute now. So we're going to start with Dark. We have Sangan, Dark Mimic level 3, and Tour Guide to go fetch them. We have the 2 Shadal monsters, Dragon and Beast. These are pretty sweet. We have Don Zalug. We have Tsukiyomi, Summoner Monk. Breaker, he's really good in cube because he's like almost always guaranteed to get a +1. There's not really many cards that can deal with him in the cube, whereas like in a real format when you're playing multiple bottomlesses and things like that, he's kind of just going to do his job every time, so it's a really powerful effect. We have Old Vindictive Magician, Night Assailant, Green Kappa, Mask of Darkness, New Doria, Snipe Hunter, a small Gravekeeper package, Gravekeeper Spy, Guard, Nobleman, and Descendant. Then we have we got a little Destiny package here. A few Destiny heroes. My favorite's always been Disc Commander because it's just so powerful in the cube. You can abuse it, and once you're drawing 2 cards, you like can cycle into more ways to special summon them from the graveyard. He's just a great card. Yeah, this engine's pretty sweet. Then we got Makura the Destructor, Scapegoat. Scapegoat's really cool. It just flips up, and then it's a scapegoat, except the tokens are zombies, and you can use them for tribute fodder. So it's a pretty sweet card. Oh, I forgot Plasma. He somehow snuck away from the other Destiny heroes. He's really good. I guess he ended up next to Scapegoat, so that's a good combo for you. We have Gore's Emissary Darkness, very powerful card in cube, just can win games by itself. The Dark Creator, Dark Samorg, Zephyros, really broken at bouncing all your continuous spells and traps, reusing them. Curry Bandit, we have Prometheus, this guy can get really big. Strike Ninja, Necrogardna, we got Spirit Reaper, Dark Arm Dragon, Jinzo, Dark Ruler Hades, Vampire Dragon. This card's really underrated, rather, because it's just a 2400 beater that searches any level 4 lower monster in the cube, like when it dies. So it's pretty awesome. It's kind of just a cool floater. 2400's nothing to sneeze at, so I like that card a lot. Then we got Phantom of Chaos, Doomcaliber Knight, Cyberjar, Tragodia, Chaos Sorcerer. We got, of course, Dark Emperor, Chaos Emperor. He's just one of the most busted cards in the cube. Can just reset a game state, can just beat down for 3000, or you can set up a Yada lock on them, which is pretty awesome as well. We have Jack Frost, Dark Red Enchanter, DD Crow, Neospatian Dark Panther. We have Dark Lord Zerato, Black Dragon Clap Serpent, Dark Flare Dragon, Kaiku, Battle Fader, Dark Greffer, Armageddon Knight, Witch of the Black Forest, Apprentice Magician, Mystic Tomato, Dark Nemesis, Demok, Sworn Thunderbird. This card's really good. It just dodges a lot of removal, and your opponent can't really find a great time to kill it. So it's just a great card. It just lives forever and beats down. It's a good card. We have DD Survivor and Dekoichi. So that's all the dark monsters. We're gonna move over to light now, as I'm knocking things off screen over. We have Magician of Faith, Rainbow Karibo, Magical Merchant, Effect Veiler, Cyber Valley, Mithra. We have Marshmallow, Banish of the Radiance, Denko Sekka, Shining Angel, Fairytale Luna. This card's really powerful because they don't have the effect to negate it. Like, they don't have the option since the cube is entirely singleton. So it's just always going to resolve and be a really annoying thing to deal with. We have Alias. We have Dimension Alchemist. This is one of my favorite cards ever printed. Probably my favorite, just because it's a sweet floater for these Chaos decks, and it can just float into really powerful things if you sequence your cards correctly. Like, you can remove a BLS or a Chaos Ultra, then summon this guy, and then your opponent's just like, well, I don't want them to retrieve like these powerful creatures from Banish, so it kind of just sits there for a long time. Or eventually it just gets you a strong card, so it's a pretty awesome card. We have Fairytale Snow, very powerful in cube, Blue Thunder T45, Honest, Eclipse Wyvern, Thunder King, of course, DD Warrior Lady, little Clown Engine here, Trick Clown and Juggler. We also have Hat Tricker, he's later on, but Perform Edge Trick Clown, very strong, can come back over and over again. We have Wyver Buster. We have two Worm Monsters, Yagen and Zex. Yagen's a great standalone card in cube, and then if you end up having the both, Zex can be very powerful normal summon. We have a small artifact engine, Bageltalk, Muraltalk, Cyber Dragon, Air Knight Parshath, Majesty's Fiend, Prime Material Dragon, Light Pulsar Dragon, Photon Wyvern. This card is so sweet. 2 tributes. When it's flip summoned or normal summoned, you just destroy every set card your opponent controls. Really, really powerful effect in cube. Kaiser Glider, Lad, and BLS. Blackluster Soldier, obviously one of the most powerful things you can do in cube. Moving on to Earth, we have DD Assailant, Karakuri Ninja, we have Dark Dust Spirit, Prediction Princess Konorama. This card's really good. It just summons a level 3 or higher flip monster from your deck, which is really, really strong in cube because there's a lot of flip effects that you just want to have access to. And one of them being Pot of Forbidden. It was already in my cube, but it's a sweet combo, so I decided to add the Konorama recently. Last Warrior of the Wasteland, good floater that can get a few of these guys like Exile Force, Elementeer Wildheart, Amazon Chainmaster. Use your opponent's cards against them. That's always awesome. DD Warrior. And then we have the Gadget Engine, just 3 gadgets. And then a Gear Frame and a Fortress. Continuing on, we have Wind Up Rabbit. Same as Thunderbird. He's a little bit weaker, but always a great card to float in and out. We have Juju Master, Spell Striker, Swift Scarecrow, Grand Soil. Haven't pulled this off myself, but I've seen it in other people's games, and it's pretty awesome every time it happens. Barbaros, Gigantus, Green Baboon, Nefarious Archfiend. This card is so sweet. There's a lot of things you can do with this card in cube. Just a quick story I had is I had this in a Trick Clown it was just popping a Trick Clown and keep coming back and over. But the thing is, I had a card of safe return and a supply squad on the board at the same time, so I was drawing 3 additional cards every turn, and my opponent had no way to interact with it. This card can set up some cool loops and things you can do, so I think you should add this card to your cube. It's really sweet, and people never take it highly enough. There's a lot of things you can do with it. You don't need to have that much to make it work in your deck. We have Giant Rat, Nimble Mega Hamster, Giant Rex, Wangu, King Tiger, the 2 Trap Trick, Dianea and Marmillium, Fossil, the Hat Tricker, Bezu, really cool card, Exploder Dragon, Parapel Cerberus, we have Mathematician, Grand Mole, we have X-Saber Airbellum, Card Trooper, Morphin Jar, really powerful, Maxi, and Card D. Now, wrapping up with the monsters, we have all the attributes that didn't get too much love from Konami, but we got fire here, so we have Phoenix and Memphis, Garunix, and then 2 Fire King guys. I like these guys a lot. Then we have Fang Hung. This card's really good. It's like Dark Dust Spirit, but for back rows, so it just kind of blows stuff away. Really good card in cube. Can abuse it with like Treeborn Frog and things like that. And then we have Matayon, Gorilla, and Bear. Always just staple cards. And then we have Fire Hand as the last monster, and then we go into the water monsters with Ice Hand. So moving on here, we have Snowman Eater, Tribe Infecting Virus, Penguin Soldier, Crystal Seer, Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, Undyne and Controller. And we have Mother Grizzly, and then we have a Frog Engine. I include Fishborg still, even without the Synchros in the extra deck, just because it can just set up double tribute monsters really easily, and if you have a Sinister Serpent, it just comes back for free every turn, which is really powerful. It has some synergy still. The frogs are always just great in Cube, especially Treeborn, just a really, really powerful card. We also have, of course, Sinister Serpent, one of the best water monsters ever printed. We have Kirin, really good, strong combo with Treeborn Frog, just keep bouncing things back to the hand, really good. Hand of Memphis, Mist Valley Falcon. This card's one of my favorite cards in Cube because like you can do some cool stuff with it. Like every time it attacks, it bounces a face-up card you control as a cost. So when you can like flip over a Call of the Haunted, bring back a Card Trooper, attack with this for 2,000, and then the Card Trooper will die because the Call of the Haunted goes back to your hand and you draw a card. Another cool one I like to do is with Safe Zone, you can target your opponent's monster. This attacks and then bounces the Safe Zone back to your hand. The Safe Zone effect triggers to destroy the opponent's monster. And then also you just get to reuse like Fiendish Chains and things like that. This card's just really awesome in Cube. One of my favorite cards on the Cube for sure. You have Armored Bee. I took out Gale for this. It's just like a better Gale considering that tuners don't really have much of a use. It does the same thing, just halves the opponent's monster's attack, and it's 1,600 instead of 13 or whatever Gale is. Flying Kamakari. Vassal can bounce your monarchs back. Use them again. We have Vortex Trooper, Twin-Headed Behemoth, Stratos, of course, and then we have Yatagaratsu for the Yata combo, and also just sometimes, man, you can just summon it turn 2 and just get them. I've done that a couple times. It's pretty awesome as well. On to the spell cards. This is where a lot of the power in the Cube is. As you guys know, like there's a lot of banned normal spell cards, and we're just going to go through a few of them. So, they're actually a little bit mixed up, so we'll just talk about the ones that come up. Dimensional Fusion, one of the most powerful cards on the Cube. You can just win the game on the spot when you activate this. And you have Gold Sark. Why am I doing this? We have Gold Sark. Then we have Pot of Duality, Dichotomy, Galaxy Cyclone, Reinforcement of the Army, Card Destruction. Oh, here we go. Here's some power. We got Change of Heart, Dark Hole, Confiscation, Soul Charge, Painful Choice. My opinion, one of the strongest cards in the Cube. Maybe like top 2 or 3. Because it's just if you build your deck around it and you activate this in the first few turns of the game, it's like literally a +4 or 5, sending a bunch of frog monsters or like Sinister Serpent, Zephyros, like all these different things you can send. Just sets up your whole graveyard for the cost of 1 card, and it's just really, really powerful. And we have Delinquent Duo, Giant Trunade, Last Will, Brain Control, Card of Demise. I haven't used this yet in Cube, but drawing 3 cards is really powerful, so I imagine it's very good. The Forceful Sentry, Harpy's Feather Duster, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, Raigeki, Graceful Charity. Moving on to the less powerful normal spells, we have Night Beam, Reasoning, Charge of Light Brigade, Smashing Ground, Soul Exchange, Monster Reincarnation, Hammer Shot, Fissure, Tribute Burial. This card's really cool. Basically, you just get to summon a level 7 or higher monster. Instead of tributing, though, you get to remove a monster from your graveyard and remove a monster from their graveyard, which is really good because you just get some incremental value, like extra value, by banishing something that's relevant in their graveyard, and then you just also while pushing your game plan ahead. So I like this card a lot. We have Onslaught of the Fire King, Swords of Reeling Light, One Day of Peace, Upstart Goblin, Shield Crush, Lightning Vortex, Nomadic Extermination, Spellbook of Knowledge, Pot of Avarice, Pot of Desires, Dark Eruption, Soul Taker, Creature Swap, Emergency Call, Hidden Armory, really undervalued, can search some powerful cards. Nobleman of Crossout, Monster Gate, we have Allure of Darkness, A Hero Lives, Foolish Burial, Soul Recharge, Storm, Destiny Draw, 1-for-1, Cold Wave, Book of Life, Trade-In, and The Beginning of the End. On to some other spell cards. For field spells, we have Mausoleum. I love this card. It's just so cool. You can build your whole deck around it. Then we have Necro Valley and Seal Calcos. That's it for the field spells. Some equips, we have Wonder Wand, DDR, Autonomous Action Unit, just a reborn from your opponent's grave for the cost of some life points. I like that card. Of course, Snatch Steal and Premature Burial. Then we have continuous spells. Wave Motion Cannon. This card can just sit on the board and win against people if you just take a lot of spell and trap removal. At least one person in the cube won't get any if you're just constantly taking it, and then you can just play this card for game, which is pretty awesome. I like that a lot. Um, Supply Squad, just always drawing cards, like very powerful effect. Inspection. This is not a very good card on its own, but it combos with Last Turn. And it's just a way to infinitely pay life points over and over again to look at a card in your opponent's hand. It just combos with Last Turn, combos with Hope for Escape, a few different cards like that. We have Level Limit Area B, Return to the Monarchs, Swords of Concealing Light, March of the Monarchs, Shard of Greed, Card Trader, really underrated card in Cube. You only get to filter one card per turn, and you're not gaining any card advantage off of it. But if you're making your average draw against a little bit better than your opponents over the course of a game, in Cube Draft, that can go a long way. So I really like this card, and I take it pretty highly. Burden of the Mighty, Miracle Fertilizer, Backup Squad, great standalone card, can draw you cards. Card is safe for turn, one of the most abusable cards in Cube. I love that card, I always take it. Dimensional Fissure, Goyoko, we have Messenger of Peace, Tenki, Mirage of Nightmare, and onto quick play spells, we have Chalice, MST, Twin Twister, Enemy Controller, Scapegoat, Artifact Ignition, Forbidden Lance, Cosmic Cyclone, Forbidden Dress, Book of Moon, Bear of Different Dimension, the Monarch Stormforce, Shrink, and Double Cyclone. Now into the trap cards. We got Burst Rebirth, Hope for Escape, Magical Cylinder. We have Beckoning Light, Last Turn, as I said. I like to have at least one alternate win condition in my cube, and I chose this one this time. I just like it. It's a wonky way to win a game, so it's pretty fun. We have Dimensional Wall, Scrap Iron Scarecrow, Threatening Roar, Wabaku, Prideful Roar, really good with Gladiator Beast, just always let you win a fight. Reckless Greed, Trap Hole, Deck Devi, Fuse Line, Mirror Force, Treacherous Trap Hole, Return from Different Dimension, just always wins games in Cube. This card is so powerful. We have Ring of Destruction, Lost Wind, Void Trap Hole, Breakthrough Skill, Time Seal, Dust Tornado, Sakuretsu Armor, Mind Crush, Soul Transition, Blazing Mirror Force, Trap Dust Shoot. We have a Compulsory Evacuation Device, Deprison, Bottomless, Horn of the Phantom Beast, Spiritual Water Art, Trap Stun, Needle Sealing, the two Paleozoic cards, Dynamiscus and Candia. Then we have Artifact Sanctum, and then we have Karma Cut, Raigeki Break, Eradicator, Heavy Storm Duster, Jar of Avarice, Back to the Front. And then we have Phoenix Wingloom Blast, Torrential Tribute, Trapper Nightmare Hole. We have Crush Card Virus, obviously just a really broken card. Sweet card if you can just activate it. Your opponent is pretty sad most of the time. We have Malcat, Crevice from Different Dimension, and then we have some counter traps here. We have Drastic Drop Off, Wiretap, Pulling the Rug, Seven Tools of the Bandit, Magic Drain, Divine Wrath, War Chariot, Dark Bribe, and then a Solemn Brigade of Scolding, Warning, Strike, and Judgment. And then rounding out, we have the continuous traps, Escape from Dark Dimension, Skill Drain, Macrocosmos, Graceful Revival, Oasis of the Dragon Souls, Limit Reverse, Vanity's Emptiness, Safe Zone, Fiendish Chain, Royal Decree, Call of the Haunted, Royal Oppression, Gravity Bind, Ultimate Offering, Robbing Goblin, and Wall of Revealing Light. So that's the cube, guys. Let me know what you guys would change or what you would add. Actually, just let me know what your favorite card is, and maybe I'll add it. Because a lot of these cards are just like a lot of fun to play with. The cards that I played with in the past. So let me know in the comments below what you think. And that's it. Dan V from SSG signing out.